Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Aboagye and I create content on studying abroad. In today's video, I have with me Joshua N.P. Bosiako, who is currently a scholar in the US. In today's episode, he's going to share with us how he got funding and admission to study in the US. And contrary to popular belief, where scholarships are meant for people with first class or second class upper, Joshua has defied the odds. He had a bachelor's, his bachelor he graduated with a pass, and in today's video, he wants to show us what he did and how he did it. So if you're in this boat, stay right here. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. So as usual, before we start, Joshua, tell us about yourself. So who are you?
My name is Joshua Bosiako, and I'm studying at Southern Connecticut State University, pursuing my master's degree in chemistry.
Okay.
In Connecticut, New Haven, Connecticut.
Okay. So let's start from your background. What did you graduate with? Why did you choose that program? How did you find the school? How many schools did you apply to? How many scholarships did you get? Like, tell us your story.
I did my bachelor's degree in chemistry from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology from 2012 to 2016. And by God's grace, I was studying I did chemistry. So by God's grace, with my undergraduate research, I got a publication. So that was also another factor that really, really helped me out, securing different scholarships. And after university, I did my national service with Confirmatory Teaching Hospital. And after 1 year, where we're coming from, after universities, it's difficult to get jobs to do after school. So, and I had a driver's license. So I decided, though I've already applied to several companies and I was waiting for a job offer, but I never heard of it. I never heard of any of them. So I decided to, because when I was on campus, I used to drive church buses, so I had a driver's license. So I made opportunity by driving Uber. So I was part of the first drivers who started Uber in Kumasi back in Ghana.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's in 2017. Yeah, I think September 2017. So immediately after service in August, following my September, then I started working. I didn't stay home to join an unemployed graduate association. I'm always on the move, trying to solve a problem, trying to hustle and just get a living for myself. So I think I did that, and I later went to Cyprus. A friend of mine is in Cyprus and gave me the opportunity to travel to Cyprus to do my master's degree in chemistry. And with Cyprus, I did not get any form of scholarship. No, I think I got 25% scholarship, and I was supposed to pay the other 75%. But when I got there, it was very tough, and it was difficult for me to pay because I was at the northern part of Cyprus where they spend Turkish lira. But initially, I thought I was going to spend euros. Meanwhile, they spend Turkish lira, but their fees are being charged in euros. So it's more like you're schooling in Ghana, and you spend cedis in Ghana, but your tuition are being charged in euros or dollars. So even with the cedis, people find it difficult to pay their fees and to seek for scholarship. So imagine you're paying fees in euros, and as I'm speaking to you, Ghana's currency is even bigger than the Turkish lira. So it means you are paying the fees in euros will be times 2 of whatever amount if you are to pay in cedis. So it was challenging for me. So I had to just involve myself with like job, just to do a job. Even though the money I was being paid at the end of the month wasn't enough to pay for my tuition. It just paid for my bills and my accommodation and feeding. That's basically. So I decided that. So after 1 year, I couldn't continue the school because if you don't pay the fees too, they don't allow you to continue. So then I need to make a plan. So I think that time was COVID time, which is around 2019, COVID time, 2019, 2020. That's where I think that was the time period I was in Cyprus. So I was like, I have friends who are in the US, and when I spoke with some of them, they were like, try and apply to US. Because US with chemistry, a lot of departments have funding for the chemistry. So he asked me to go ahead and do that. So I started with my research, sending cold emails to professors, telling them that I don't have a good grade, but I have a research experience. And with that, I even got a publication. So they should consider my research strength rather my academic performance and give me a good offer so that I can come and school there. And when I was applying, I made my address like Ghana, so I decided to take my visa since I hold a Ghanaian passport. It's always best to take the visa in Ghana. So I applied to 5 schools, yeah, 1 PhD and 4 master's degree in chemistry. And I think I got one admission with Missouri University of Science and Technology. So and the other university was Florida International University, FIU. But I think it was a PhD offer, but that particular year was very competitive. So they told me to they were trying to keep my profile, and they're gonna admit me the following year. So, but because Missouri was also giving me masters in chemistry without funding, I was like, but I had also spoken with graduate students, Ghanaian graduate students in the chemistry department, and some of them were like, they came in without any scholarship. So I can go ahead and apply for my visa. So I returned from Cyprus, came to Ghana, and I started with my visa application. But unfortunately, because I didn't have funding, and my cost of attendance was like $48,000, I was denied a visa. So yeah, it was very painful because I was not expecting that, and because the graduate students also informed me that some of them came with zero funding, but they were able to make. Unfortunately for me, I couldn't secure my visa.
Before that, I want to ask a question. So the fees was 48,000.
Exactly.
So you didn't show proof of funds or what? What was the cause for the refusal?
Yeah, I went with my dad's bank statement.
Okay.
The visa officer wasn't that convinced. I was trying to convince her, so it looks like she even went outside, and I think he went to see the chief, the chief visa officer concerning my case, because I already had a travel experience to Cyprus, and my case was very dicey. So, and I told them my father is also someone who can, because he did it, so I know he can do it. He did my undergraduate. I went to Cyprus. He did it, though I didn't complete though, but because I did not get a professor whose research work aligns with mine, and I know with that, in the US, I've gotten and have a publication. So I showed everything to her. So it was convincing, but she had to go to and because it looks like my transcript was something that they considered.
Okay.
Because it looks like when he went to chief consular, my transcript was something that he used to turn my application down. So she came back and he was like, I'm sorry, I cannot issue a visa at this time. So it saddened me, but I had to do my homework.
Okay. Before that, I have a question. When you are applying to the university, did you include the fact that you started your program in Cyprus, or you took that entirely out of your applications?
No, I took it out because I couldn't complete it. Yeah, so I took that. I applied as if I was a student from Ghana because I used my house address to apply. So for them, to the school, they knew I was a Ghanaian student who was applying from Ghana. Yeah, because as I said earlier, since I hold a Ghanaian passport, it will be safe. I get a visa. So I had to travel from Cyprus to Ghana to go for my interview. So that's how the plan was. So I did my homework, and I spoke with quite a number of friends concerning my situation because I was denied. And some of them informed me that I should write a GRE since I graduated with a low GPA. They asked me to write GRE, and also they asked me to do online courses because there are certain professors who research with they inculcate in some apps or some applications that is going to help them with their research. So for me, I started with I went to Coursera, and I was doing my research to know which courses that is going to help me to also help me with my application, because if the application is not very competitive, it will be difficult to secure funding. So I started my GRE classes. I went to Achimota Timeline Trust. That's why I started my GRE classes, and I think I did it for 3 months. So when I was denied in July, I started classes around September. So through to November, I did my GRE classes, and I wrote the GRE in December. So after I was done with my GRE exams, then I started working on online. Even though throughout the same period, I started my Python course on Coursera. aside Coursera too, there are EDS. There's also another platform where you can get these courses. Whether it can be Microsoft Word, it can be PowerPoint presentation, it can be Microsoft Excel. All these are tools that graduate students make good use of when they are in a graduate school. So if you have a low GPA, you need to also consider getting skill in Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and PowerPoint presentation, which is also going to help you in your application. So when I did that, I put all my applications together, and I did 12 schools. This is the second time I did 12 schools in all, and I think I did 5 PhD applications, and I did 7 master's applications.
Just a minute, I'm a bit confused. So after you got the first rejection, the first rejection was for which school?
The first rejection was Missouri University of Science and Technology.
Okay, so afterwards you went back to the drawing board and you applied to a different set of schools.
I did the random school application because I already sent code emails to professors. And some of them were like, I should go ahead and apply. Some of them did not respond to my mails. Some of them, they said they were going on retirement. So I had to just go on with the professors who were very positive with me. And some of the schools too, I was fortunate that I sent application waiver. So they waived application for me. So out of the 12 schools, it looks like I think 7 of them had waived the application fee for me, and I paid the other 5. And fortunately or unfortunately for me, I got admitted to 3 universities, and which is Southern Connecticut State University, Eastern New Mexico University, and I think Western Illinois University. Yeah, these 3 universities gave me admission without funding. So I got admission, and with all the PhD they turned my application down, and they told me that it's very competitive that particular year. So they wish me all the best in my future application. So with these schools that gave me admission, I went ahead and I sent emails again, code emails to professors that I've gotten admission. So if they can assist me by help me out to maybe secure a graduate assistantship or graduate teaching assistantship or graduate research assistantship or any campus job which can go ahead and cater for my heart, waive my tuition.
Can you explain what the graduate teaching or research assistantship is? What do they do? Why is it important for you?
Yeah, so with the graduate assistantship is in 2 folds. Either either in 3: graduate research assistantship, graduate teaching, and graduate administrative assistantship. So with the graduate research assistantship, it's an opportunity for graduate students to work with a professor, probably in your department, to work on their research. And if you're able to think throughout the semester, and if they're able to help them accomplish with their research, you're going to be paid every 2 weeks or sometimes monthly. And that money, the sum total of that money per the semester or per the year will waive your tuition for that year. And sometimes I also tell people that it's not, because for me, I'm studying chemistry, but I got a graduate research assistant in my school. But I remember I spoke with a friend who was in I think University of Scranton. She got a graduate teaching assistantship from the biology department, since she did science and she had a biology background. So she was able to secure a graduate teaching assistantship from the biology department. So with the graduate teaching assistantship, you're going to assist the lecturer in teaching, sometimes assignments and tutorials. So probably after the lecturer is done with their class, you schedule a time with the students for less than an hour or 30 minutes. You go to the class, and if there's something that the student didn't get or understand, or with a calculation question that they did not get it, you go in and assist them to solve and give them a better explanation to that particular thing. So that is at least a form of teaching. So with that one, if you have a teaching experience, it's going to go a way to also help you secure the teaching assistantship. And the last one, which is the graduate administrative. So with that one, you're going to assist a professor. So that one, it cuts across. For me, mine is a STEM program, which is chemistry. So I can work with biology, physics, chemistry, statistics, mathematics department. But with the graduate administrative, it's not necessary that you work with a professor in the STEM. It can be a non-STEM program like business administration, marketing, any other program. You can work with a professor in their office, like the office job, like errands, running errands, printing, and those kind of typing, maybe using Microsoft Word, typing. So it's basically, and sometimes running errands for the professor. So you're going to work with them at their office. So that's basically, these are the basic three form of graduate assistantships.
And for the assistantship, do they all come with tuition waiver and some cash or?
Yeah, it depends on the school. Every school has their own offer. Some school it's waive like 50% of the tuition. Some school it waives 100%, which is for my school, it waive the tuition, fully the tuition. But some schools too, it waives the tuition, it waives accommodation, and it waives living expenses as well. And some schools even go ahead and give you stipend, which every month they give you like $1,000 or $1,500 to pocket in your so which you use to cater for your accommodation, health insurance, and other things. So I think it's every school has their own offer. So with mine, I remember I spoke with my professor and I asked her if she can be able to help me out and so that it can even cover my accommodation, tuition, and other stuff. But she said it's only going to waive the tuition. We can't do anything about it because that particular year, that was the offer that came around. So that's basically with the offer. And so I think after getting admissions into the three universities,
yeah. What was your offer? Your offer, was it a research, a teaching, or administrative assistant?
Yeah, my offer was a research, graduate research assistant.
Assistant, okay. So it covered just your tuition.
It waived the tuition. I think it waived, I can put like 80%.
Okay.
And I was also awarded a graduate Dean Scholars Award.
Okay.
Also, I was awarded a Southern International Fellowship Award. So I had 3 different scholarships that waived the tuition. Yeah.
Okay, so now you don't have to concern about your tuition. You got all these things before you went to the US, or you got them after?
So initially, as I said, the 3 schools, none of them gave me. It was just a normal admission without any funding. So I had to fight by speaking to professors in the department if there's any form of assistantship that they can offer me. So with my school, I spoke with the graduate coordinator of the chemistry department, and he told me that I should go for the visa. And once I arrive in the US, there are a lot of campus office or campus job offers for me. But I told him that I have gotten a previous experience where I went to the interview with Missouri University of Science and Technology without any funding, and I was denied. So because of that, I told him that if there's any way he can assist me get the funding before, and which should also reflect on my I-20 before I come to the US, which will go a way forward to help me secure my visa, or it will increase my chances of securing my visa easily. So he also spoke with, he CC'd, even we had a Zoom meeting, one-on-one Zoom meeting, and I was able to explain myself vividly to him. So he spoke with other professors in the department, and fortunately for me, there was a professor who needed the student to help her with her graduate research work. So that's how come I was able to secure the research assistantship.
I really love your tenacity. It goes a long way to let you know that, like, if you need something, you need to fight for it. Like, you need to continue. Yeah,
because with Ghana Embassy, if you don't have good, at least get 50%, and add your father's statement to, my dad will be taking out the other 50. But if you go there with no funding, your chances are very, very slim. But people go there without any funding, but they're able to secure.
Yeah.
But many of them are able to do that. Many of the students that I've coached, they were denied when they don't have funding, including myself. So the second time I had a tuition waiver, and the interview was very easy and simple. It was just good because this time I'm coming with the tuition waiver.
Okay. And how much did you need to show for proof of funds?
So with the second time, they did not ask me any proof of funds because it was a total tuition waiver. So she did not even ask me, though I went with my uncle's bank.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to know, yeah. Because, in the US, let's understand, how does the proof of fund mean? Is it only your tuition, or you need to show tuition and living expenses? You need to show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's tuition and living expenses. But with the embassy, they are very particular about the tuition.
Okay.
Because they know that if you are, for me, for instance, because I got a tuition waiver, they were not particular looking at my uncle's statement for accommodation. Because if you're going to school, you're not going to pay anything, and you are just to pay for accommodation. And if that's going to be a then you're not a serious student.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how they did their calculation, because most students come to the interview without any funding, 50, 25, 20. So if I'm coming with 100% tuition waiver, so they know that automatically you'll be able to pay accommodation and what? The other expenses. So
Okay.
they don't have any bank statement for.
I don't really agree with you on that, but because maybe because before you go, your documents are already checked. So maybe just because you're assuming that they didn't check that you do have your accommodation on all, does not mean that others
Yes,
shouldn't do it.
with my tuition waiver, my deficit was $18,000, which is
Okay.
my accommodation, feeding, and books and health insurance. That was $18,000. But you see, this is an interview. I know, that's why I knew I had a deficit. That's why I went with my uncle's bank statement.
Exactly.
But
Yes.
you see, interview, everyone has their own way of. They don't have a particular trend. Some
Exactly.
they check their bank, some they don't check. So I was fortunate that when I went, they did not check at all. But other visa officers would have checked it. So that is my story. Everyone has
Yeah.
their.
Yeah. But what you are saying and what you said before are two different things. So that's why I wanted to
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
okay. So yeah.
you need to go. So for me, my uncle had like times 3 of the $18,000 in the account.
Okay.
Yeah, times 3 of it, which was good. But fortunately for me, they did not ask. But anytime you're going for the interview, whether you have $1 deficit, you still need to go for with the bank statement.
Okay, okay, that's great. So you got your visa, and what's next?
So yeah, I got a visa, and I started speaking with the international admissions concerning. But I think before that, before my interview, we had a Zoom meeting for international students where we discussed the airports close to campus, and where, so already before I went for my interview, I knew the kind of airport that I'm supposed to get my flight ticket to. So it was Boston and JFK. So I chose JFK because I just wanted to have a JFK experience. So I got a straight ticket to with Delta Airline to JFK, and from JFK New York, I just took a train from JFK to Connecticut.
Okay, that's good. So like we will be close enough. How has your experience been like? And also the last question is, are you also allowed to do extra work? Does your visa allow you to do extra work, or no? The only work you do is you're only allowed to do that research work. That
Yeah, so with the US, if you are F1 or international students, the only place you can work is on campus.
okay.
Fine. For me, my situation, I was given a graduate research assistant. But when I got there, I was trying to force or fight for other offer, which can also waive my accommodation and other expenses. But unfortunately, because I had a campus job, there's no way you can get an extra job on campus. Though they are available jobs, but a student can't work more than 20 hours. And
Okay.
my research was 20 hours. I was not allowed, though they needed people to work with. But so that means I need to find a way of paying my accommodation, feeding, and other stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
you just only campus, you can only work on campus. You can't work outside campus.
And how has your experience been like in the US?
So I think initially it was because I had to challenge my my academic supervisor. She was the one that was doing the research work with, and I had to challenge it because I knew I was going to find difficulties with paying off. Because I was living on off-campus apartment and paying like $500 a month, $500 a month, and I need to pay for my health insurance, books, and other stuff. So it was, for me, it was quite a challenge for me. I spoke with her several times, but she
said no.
For me, I spoke with everybody on campus. They said because of your 20 hours research assistant, they can't do anything. So that means I need to speak with my family to send me money to pay my accommodation. So it was a challenge for me. It was a big challenge, yeah. Though it was a tuition waiver, I was happy. But when I got here, it became a challenge, paying of accommodation.
I like your honesty, because most of the time when people is like, they don't tell you the detail. They're like, I got fully funded, but it's actually really not the case. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the students who are fully enjoying with the F1 visa, they are the ones that it was fully funded, and they get stipends.
Stipend, yeah.
Very important. But once you are able to pay like $1,000 a month or $1,500, you can pay your accommodation, your bills, then still have money for yourself to feed and all that. Some of the students even go ahead and buy a car. So those who are getting stipends. So for them, I think it's good. I think it's
Okay.
good. They are really enjoying, with the F1 visa. They are enjoying. So I think it's advisable to get a side hustle so that even if you are coming with 50%, and once you get here, you also need to pay the other 50%. So imagine that your sponsors are not able to send you money. Your side hustle might fetch money for you to pay for your other tuition and as well as your living expenses. So I think if you need to get something doing in your home country before you come.
So Joshua, thank you very much for the session. So to finalize everything, what advice would you give to anybody who also wants to undertake this journey?
Yeah, and I would advise that it's about effort. It's a lot of work. If you are graduate of a low GPA, you need to put a lot of effort and a lot of money because you wasted time on campus, you did not study. So that time you wasted, you need to convert that into money by, first of all, going for January classes. Even if you can add TOEFL to it, you can write January TOEFL. Or some schools too, they accept Duolingo and all that. So put in effort, go for classes, learn how to send code emails. The first thing is code emails. Send code emails to professors. Because I know a lot of people with low GPA who send code emails, but at the end of the day, they were able to secure full tuition, or some of them more than that, with professors, their research or graduate assistantship, and they are enjoying life here. So you need to put a lot of effort. Do online courses. We have Coursera, we have EDS, Coursera.com, EDS. Go there and do online courses. Also, recommendation letters are very, very important. So for me, I graduated with low GPA, but since I got a publication, the professor that I work with, which is my undergraduate academic supervisor, she wrote a very nice recommendation letter, and she said my academic performance is not reflecting of my capabilities. So it's also helped me out. Another two recommendations. Mostly US schools require 3 recommendations. So when professors speak well of you, even though you got a low GPA, since they are speaking well of you, it's going to increase your chances for you to also compete and also secure your good scholarships. And so I think it requires a lot of job. And I did random applications. Don't focus on one particular state. Probably your opportunity will be in other states. So research, and I make sure if you have a low GPA, apply to schools with high acceptance rate. That's something that people don't get. So for me, I was applying to 100% acceptance, 97, 95, 80. Minimum was 88% acceptance rate. I didn't want to go below that because if you apply to schools with high acceptance rate, your chances of getting admission is high. And once you get admission to, you can push and search for scholarships. So I think this basically, when you're going for the interview to get a good story, get a good story, because most people get good funding, they don't have a good story, they go and they are being denied. So getting a good story also increases your chances. So I think all of this together will help you to secure and make your American dream a possibility.
Thank you very much, and I'm really grateful. So Joshua also has a YouTube channel, so check him out. I've left the link in the. You can see it on the screen. It's called JC Consult. So just put it on YouTube, JC Consult, and go listen to him. So Joshua, thank you very much. I'm really grateful for agreeing to do this, and I'm wishing you all the best. Very soon we'll hear that you have the green card. So have a great day. And if you have any questions, just leave it in the comment section. So to hear from me again.
Bye-bye.